Hey guys, Des here, and today I want to go over trade recaps and go over how I was able to become green today, even after taking 2 losses and only having 1 win. So, to start off today, we had a gap down here, and we began chopping in the morning, and I got caught really bad in this chop, and I'll explain some of the trades that I took. So, the first trade was actually puts down here at this area here, like around 650. I was up about 20% on this play, but I didn't get the scale out just because of how fast we moved back up. And this was, obviously it was a very bad play. Once I should have waited for under a low a day. And then also we were forming, just making, a low, high, whatever, we were just continuing this very choppy trend. So I had this trend line drawn out after the second touch. We had a high day here, and then we had the current low a day here. I adjusted this to be right here just because we had more bounces here, and then this is just based off the wicks. The second play that I lost was on calls. I took calls up here expecting a breakout just because we bounced here 1, 2, 3 times. So I was like, okay, we're gonna test this upper trend line for the third time, and I think we're having a breakthrough and potentially gap fill all the way back to 415. However, my number one mistake was trying to predict a breakout instead of playing, a rip, retest, and then, continuation of that trend. So, once again, I was up very small green, and then I obviously took a loss because the price started pushing back down. So, now I'm like, okay, we're at this range right here. We're on top of the range. We got rejected from top of the range, so I'm going to look for downside while I play this. So, at 725 is where I enter shorts. I was thinking about a scalp all the way back to low day. It wasn't anything crazy. I was in with, the same amount of size of the other trades. That's very important. I kept my losses at 20% and 33%, and this winner ended up being 180% on the same size, which, allowed me to go green. I took my shorts, and then we got this knife down here past this low day level on SPY. So once, we caught this is about almost a $1.50, $1.60 move, and I'm like, okay, I'm taking a small trim here, and I think we're going to continue lower. And look, we continued lower at this 412 area and came back to this 413 area, and I knew that this was just a retest of the previous low day. So we had 1, 2, 3 bounces. This was support, turn resistance, and now I'm looking for a potential rejection here and looking for more downside. So once again, you guys know I like using the EMAs, and we're kind of, not really breaking above the EMA, just, staying right under them. And we ultimately came all the way down. We broke this previous low, and then we had this knife from 412 all the way down to 410. Oops, didn't mean to click that. So we basically took this from 413 all the way down to around 410. I sold, I was selling contracts in between here. Mostly, once we got this break here, I was selling a lot of contracts. However, I held one contract all the way until we, started this rounding out here. And I sold the contract at $2,600 per con, and we entered right around $900 per con. So $9 to $26 on these SPX contracts, and that's how I was able to secure 180% gain, and go green even after having a couple red plays. Now, looking back at it, if you go to the 15-minute, let me go to the 15-minute chart. I should just play the opening range. It looks a little messed up here because only 4 15-minute candles. I should just play the opening range breakout either side and kind of waited. To show you guys a 5-minute chart. As you guys see, this 5-minute chart was a straight consolidation. And obviously the one, like I showed you guys, very clear that we're consolidating off this gap down in the morning. Definitely should have been more patient and play the downside and upside. I think, the best possible entry, what I should have waited for is not even entering before this knife. It would be entering this retest here with stops right above it. That would have been my ideal entry. However, I did take 2 losses in the morning, and I did try to catch a downside before this happened, and it didn't indeed happen after the third rejection up here. And then once we got that, once we got the retest here, my contracts were almost near break even. They're only up about 20%. But once again, I was like, I'm holding because this is a good retest level, and I do think we're gonna push lower. And that's exactly what we did. And going into the morning, I didn't really look at this, but if you could look at Tuesday's price action, you kind of just drag the trend line here. You can see that we had this, support here on Tuesday as well. And once we came down, this is bouncing. Once this 413 level broke, as you guys can see, it was a really nice move down. And basically, you can hold all the way until, price starts rounding out. Like, price is stagnant here, and we began coming to the upside. So that was a quick trade recap today. That's the only trades that I took. On options, and on futures I actually took this short up here on ES which was basically a VWAP level. I'm not sure if the VWAP correlates. Yeah, it kind of does. But ES was under VWAP, and I took a ES short down here all the way to this bottom level here. So that's the trade recap for today. I hope this helped. And until next time, I'll catch you guys.